One of the greatest things that I teach to my clients and that I do for myself is called get ahead of it. It means that even before I start my day, after I meditate, after I wake up, I set an intention of who am I going to be. This is a really important concept because we live in a world full of reactivity. Whatever happens outside of me, I react to. But what if I could get ahead of it and decide, even before the day happens, who am I going to be throughout my day? I'm a big believer in becoming aware of what is called the mind fuck. It means that my mind starts to fuck with me. It creates a distortion of who I am and what reality is. And so I need to get ahead of it way before the mind fuck even happens. I need to get ahead of it before my body starts to feel tense and uncomfortable. I need to get ahead of it before my fear thoughts about time, either it's very limited or I have too much and I get bored. And then, of course, my environment, the people, the places, and the things that happen outside of me that fuck with me. And so I like to get way ahead of this every morning by creating a values list. So, what I highly recommend all my clients do, and I'm inviting you to do it yourself, is make a values list, meaning what is important to you? Who do you want to be? What values do you want to incorporate in your everyday life to make you your best you? Because I have to be the one to decide who am I going to be in the face of reality. Reality is going to be reality. I have to decide who I want to be in the face of all of that. So does that mean I want to be somebody who practices integrity, choosing courage over comfort? Do I want to be somebody who practices kindness? That means practicing kindness to myself and practicing kindness to others. Do I want to be reliable? That means that when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to actually show up and do it. And you want to create a values list. So in the morning when you wake up, you're going to choose a value from your list, right? And you are going to make it a goal. How much can you practice aligning to your intention and your value throughout the day? So for a long okay, let me back up a little bit. So for a long time I've had anxiety, and so what I would do is in the morning I would choose the value of calm. Okay, because I knew that that's what I wanted to practice with somebody who has great anxiety. So that was my challenge. My challenge was I'm someone who has a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear, and so I wanted to choose the value of practicing the state of being of calmness. So if you believe it, right, the first thought I think of when I wake up is, fuck, I can't believe it. I have to get through my day. I have to worry about all these things. How bad is it going to get? All these things. And so what I would have to do is I would have to have the awareness of the fear thoughts that were coming up for me, stop myself, remember the value that I have chosen, which is calm, and then ask myself, how am I going to practice being calm in the face of my anxiety, in the face of my mind fuck, in the face of my body feeling tense and overwhelmed and agitated, in the face of being really pressed for time, and of course, my environment, I'm just projecting all this fear onto my environment. So who am I going to be? And so what I would do is I started practicing Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And so each and every time I felt myself feeling tense and anxious and overwhelmed, I would stop, I would breathe, I would say Ho'oponopono, I would box breathe, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. I would do these little practices because I was aligning myself to the value of what it means for me to be calm. I started meditating. I started seeing my hypnotherapist way more often. I made it so that the value of calm became more important to me than everything else. And so what ended up happening is things would happen outside my environment. It's almost like the universe brought things to me so I can practice becoming more resilient in the face of stress to utilize the state of being of calm. And when I mastered this, right, I chose another value. Maybe instead of calm, it's kindness. So kindness would be like, I'm going to choose to be kind. So when I would have destructive, negative, critical thoughts happening in my head, I would recognize, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. If I wouldn't say it to someone I love, I won't say it to myself. So what does that mean? I'm going to practice gentleness. I'm going to practice being loving and kind. I'm going to practice self-soothing. One of the greatest tools that I love to do when I'm practicing the value of self-kindness and kindness to others is When I recognize myself in that really agitated mindfuck state of being, I take my hand and I put it on my heart and I just feel, and what happens is it's sending the same electrochemical signature to the brain as if you're getting a hug from someone you love. You're literally hugging and loving yourself. This is what I mean by practicing our values. It's not enough just to speak like, I'm somebody who's honorable and of integrity, of reliable, and I'm kind to myself and others. How are you actually showing up? How are you actually showing up and becoming the person you want to be throughout your day? What electromagnetic field are you creating when it comes to law of attraction as your state of being? And how much can you make this matter? How much can you make this important? This is one of the greatest things that I teach myself, that I teach my clients, and it's an ongoing journey because just when you think, right, you got it, you're good, something happens and it makes you have to do more of that internal work. So this is a great practice that I love to do for me and my clients, and it helps us stay in that growth mindset, choosing a value, and then how are you going to act in the intention of that value? There is no time for boredom if you do this. So if you need any help with this, please feel free to reach out. I'm a certified hypnotherapist, and I help people really develop that mind-body connection into aligning of who they want to be, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a beautiful day.